luck. But no, we move in. GameWard, that's a great round from them. That's something that really gets their morale boost, I think, winning that. But now they need to do the hard part, and that is win their bathroom and tellers, which is what they did win last time. As BDS, of course, they had that top floor hold that GameWard just kind of gave up on. I was very confused why they went for, the rotate and just tried to run in. It doesn't work like that whenever there's verticality being involved with the amount of holes that can be made. So BDS, they'll probably set up the same way, bring the castle. That kind of leads us to believe that top floor is going to be a thing again. And I'm curious to see if they 11 hit any of the castle barricades, because we see that sometimes, Fluke, where they would 11 hit potentially the castle barricade towards like the archives leading into armory, and then that gives like a player like Shaiko a quick rotate.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, they like to play into a bit of aggression generally, but at the same time, what they've been doing so far today has been pretty balanced and pretty metered. We saw them be quite late to react to the push there in terms of the two that were still buried onto the armory point, and it's worked for them a fair few times so far, obviously just not on that one position. They're going to opt instead for another ground floor hold as well, which has been so far an 100% success story for them. But yeah, they're happy to hold and happy to kind of wait. So I guess if it turns into a game of surprise, if Shaiko starts to try and be as aggressive as he was on that one particular round, then maybe. But for now, I think they're trying to say, well, GameWard, you push at us. Yeah. You break our defenses down, and then we'll see how this kind of goes. Now, talking of, their last attack up here and their last clear up here was almost close to very successful. They managed to get it down. They managed to put some bullets and bodies through and get some of it opened. It looks like they're just trying to control the space a bit on long as they throw down the gridlocks. First time she's been bought today. And again, throws another one over the top to try and dig into the center of the room. You can see it instantly being, well, pretty much cleared out. There it goes. And it does buy them enough time to crack the wall open. Has Kaid managed to get control of it? No, as they drone around the corner. I'm not 100% sure if it's been opened. I guess we'll find out in a second. But that could be obviously a big deciding factor. And it looks like they've got some of it cracked, but not a convincing amount. The Hibana charges have otherwise all but been destroyed. We see the wall get re-electrified, and they're droning around and above it. Madman's above again, yet to try and get some grenade kills. And same place and same position as last time. There's some big bullets coming from a Harris, but nothing so far has managed to get those people out. And they're going to have to, for the second time attacking this point, start to come up with their plan B.
So it may appear that GameWard are going to try and play off the fact that that triple wall is open, which would then scare away anybody from BDS to peek the hatch, which is the main thing that covers everything that happens inside of that B bomb site. So they're going to try and play for that and try and plant right where you see Cactus kind of aiming up towards, right beside that shelving unit. That's going to be where he wants to go for, but there needs to be some great cover upstairs on that triple wall to make sure someone like Shaiko just doesn't get that free peek. This is risky for GameWard, but I feel as if it may pay off for them. They're taking their time. Still plenty of time to go for. Utility still, I think, is definitely still in the hands of GameWard. And, well, that's a great opening pick. Panic's gone. One of the defenders upstairs off the board. So that does open things up just a little bit more. I'm curious to see what Madman kind of plays his part in this, because he's got that entire double wall open. Will he play pretty big in terms of playing aggressive? RX fires back, however, and here comes under the cover of the fog is where Cactus will go for said plant that we expected. Oh, but no! There he is, the retake. RX again, just putting in the bullets with the SMG-11, and what seemed to be a really great push coming in from GameWard to just end it horrifically from them, and, well, Aven tried to get something on board, and just down to Madman, who didn't have an impact that we wanted to. Unfortunate. I think that there was a missed smoke grenade, because, yes, you can plant there beside the shelf unit, but the big thing that kind of stops that from happening sometimes is the fact that the defenders will play inside of that main corridor. You have that wall opened up, so then they can see you if you go for the plant. But if you're under the cover of a smoke grenade, then they can't really know that you're planting, and they can't see you to go for the kill, obviously. So I think it was a missed smoke grenade, which cost them there in that long term.
It's always the little mistakes that, unfortunately, in these kind of games build up to bigger problems. 4-2 is the split at half-time, but it could have very easily been 3-3.
If only there was an operator in the game that had access to a smoke device that was really easy to aim.
I'm struggling to think on who you might... Oh, there he is, Capitao. In the corner there, bought by Panixon as well, the other operator that we did mention previously at the very beginning of the game and the power that he can bring to this map. And this point pretty particularly is Echo is on the board for the first time alongside the Maestro, doubling down on that information. And apart from, I believe, one round, maybe two, where Mozzie was bought alongside a Maestro, this is the first time we're seeing double down on the information. There is Shaiko on that Ash roll again. You talk about the skill and the power that he can bring. Let's see if he can carry that momentum over onto this push against Border.
Chat, if we were to throw Shaiko into a Pro League season, which the way BDS are looking, it looks like they're going to be in Pro League, right? How do we think he'd fare? On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being a player who should never be in Pro League, and 10 being, let's say, citizen level, where do we rank him? Where are we thinking? What'd you say, Fluke? Where would you rank him?
It's so hard to call for me. Like, so the thing is, what he offers is, it reminds me of Kanto, when Kanto was on that top tier fragging role. It reminds me of that kind of level where you've got to have all that groundwork working underneath. And there are days when it can go one way and days when it can go the other. They're obviously, you know, up there with the best of them. There's no denying that at this point. But what players like Citizen can bring and what players like Kajeka can bring is this level of game sense and game knowledge that is often quite hard to adapt and teach, and it always becomes very meticulous and depends heavily upon new updates and new enemies that you'll face inside Pro League.
Yeah, you look at Shaiko, he reminds me very much so of